Okay, so now the recording has started. Yes, so about our competition, the competition started about 10 years back, started by Nicholas Benavides, who is now a successful data scientist. He was at a school in high school in Maryland when he started. They started as a small competition in his school. Then he went to the county, then it grew to the state of Maryland. The following year, we had like 4 states participate. Then it was the whole of US. And that's how the competition has been growing. Our main mission is to engage and inspire high school students. The age group of the students participating in our competition is between 14 and 18. And then we provide them the education, the tools to learn entrepreneurship, and then take them through the process so that they come up with business ideas and compete on a worldwide scale with it. The competition now is, of course, huge. It is actually the largest competition in the world. And it has all been inspired by these two wonderful professors, Professor Chan Kim and Renee Mobon, and their book called Blue Ocean Strategy that was published about 18 years back. And this is one of the, you could say, seminal business books. It has been recognized as the most influential book of the past century by Harvard Business Review. These two professors have been considered the top management gurus by Thinkers 50 or so. And all this competition, Nicholas, the first time when he started the competition, really read this book. His dad had given him this book, and that inspired him to, start this competition based on the ideas in the book. This book is generally a required reading for you if you're going to go into business studies or so. And our objective is to bring that knowledge down from the college really to the high school level so that you can get started on these things early, right? So that's our inspiration. The competition, like I told you, has become the largest virtual entrepreneurship competition for the high school students. It's also considered the most prestigious. Last year, we had about 5,209 participants from 146 countries. And that's just amazing. You will be competing not just with students in your own country, maybe in the US, or maybe you are from Africa and you are competing there, but you now have an opportunity to compete with students from 6 continents. Maybe this year, we may even have more. This year, our target is to have at least 10,000 students register and participate. We already have about 2,000 students who have registered and gotten started here as well. One of the so you saw that I said that it's the prestigious competition. What makes it prestigious? What's really amazing is that this year we have been nominated and in fact shortlisted. So we were earlier nominated and now we have been shortlisted to be selected, maybe the winner of this Ideas into Practice Award, and which is about this worldwide impact that the competition is making by taking this entrepreneurship education and these opportunities to students this young in age. And Thinkers 50, you guys, if you are going to enter into the field of business, you are going to think about this, know about this organization or come across it again and again, because this is one of the most influential organizations that ranks management gurus, that awards the best in class business ideas and their impact and so on. So that's a little bit about our competition. I now want to invite our special guest, Young Koo, who is very kind to be, but to participate in our webinar. She is based in France. It's late in the evening for her, but she is here. So thank you so much, Young Koo, for being here. I think if you would like to share your screen, you can, and over to you.
Thank you, Z, for your introduction. Hello, everyone. Can you see my screen?
I cannot. No.
Okay, let me see, because I think
I will stop my sharing my screen,
Yes.
so we can
Yeah.
see it. Yes, I can see. No.
All right. Okay, thank you. And hello, everyone. I think before I start, I just saw some cute questions in the Q&A boxes. So please keep asking the questions if you have any, and I'm going to answer the question by the end of our session, right? But Dr. Z, if you have time during my talk to answer, if there is any administrative questions to answer, I think you can do that as well while I'm giving a talk.
Okay.
So yeah, all right. So thank you, everyone. I'm very honored and excited to give a short lecture on Blue Ocean strategy today in this prestigious global entrepreneur competition. So my name is Oh Young. I work in a business school in France called INSEAD, and I work as a research fellow here at INSEAD, Blue Ocean Strategy Institute. So this is the building where I work, and here are two professors of Blue Ocean strategy, Professor Chan Kim and Rene Mabuan, who created the theory of Blue Ocean, as Dr. Z introduced. So they are the professors at INSEAD and also co-directors of our INSEAD Blue Ocean Strategy Institute. Professors Chan Kim and Rene Mabuan have been researching and creating a strategy theory that focuses on innovation and growth. They are known for their best-selling books, Blue Ocean Strategy and Blue Ocean Shift. And recently, they published a new book, Beyond Disruption, which talks about innovating and achieving growth without displacing industries, companies, or jobs. So what I do here in this institute is that I do research market creation, and I create educational materials for university students, MBA students, and company executives to learn about Blue Ocean strategy and apply it in practice. So let's get started. What is Blue Ocean strategy? Is it something to do with this ocean? Is it a study on how to explore and navigate a blue ocean? Well, yes, but not literally speaking. It is a metaphoric expression in business strategy that looks into the way to create a new market. So when you see the word of strategy, we have two approaches. One is the market competing strategy, and the other one is the market creating strategy. So market competing strategy, think about the cola world. Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. They compete head-on to have more market share than the other. How do they compete? They focus on the same customers, trying to give them more at a lower price than the competitors, right? On the other hand, market creation is something what Apple created with iPhone. So back in the mid-2000s, there were two kinds of phones, a feature phone and smartphone. So feature phone was something for people like me who just use mobile phone for voice and text messaging, while the smartphone was targeting busy business people who want to connect the internet to check emails, write emails, or browsing the internet, and etc. So Apple here created a totally new market, totally new concept of mobile phone as a device to connect to the internet with a bigger screen, not only for work, but also for fun. Instead of competing within the feature phone market or the smartphone market, iPhone created a totally new market that offers iPod music, phone, and the internet. So like I introduced the iPhone from the mobile phone industry, Blue Ocean, in a business sense, means a new market that did not exist before. Like Uber's ride-hailing mobility service that opened a huge market out of the taxi industry. Or Netflix that created a multi-million mail-order DVD service out of the video rental industry. Then it reinvented the way we watch TV and videos by creating an on-demand streaming services. Then what about esports? Anyone like to watch esports like League of Legends? Well, these esports was born out of the video game industry, which was actually focusing on the video game players. But esports was made not for the video game play, but to watch video game as a sports match. And TikTok, as you all know, it created a new concept of social media. Then what about strategy? Well, there are diverse definitions on strategy, but in a broader sense, strategy means an alignment of value, profit, and people propositions. So you need to create a value that customer want to buy in. At the same time, you can't be bankrupt, meaning that you should have a robust business model to make your business commercially viable and sustainable. Meanwhile, the company is composed of people who execute the strategy. So you need to build a strong and confident team members who support the strategy with their hearts and mind. And since we are here today for the entrepreneur competition, we will only cover the formulation side of strategy, which means that I'm going to only talk about how we can create customer value while we make money. So now I simply quickly explain to you what Blue Ocean is and what strategy means. Then what Blue Ocean strategy means to you. So I believe every one of you has aspiration to become an entrepreneur in the future to change the world. So in the future, you will be one of these people, like who we think great entrepreneurs, right? And when you see the commonality among them, you will find that they built business by not benchmarking the existing companies. They didn't compete, they create new markets. Like Reed Hastings here from Netflix, who was so frustrated with the huge late fees from the video rental store. So he decided to create a on-demand DVD mail order services. And then what about Melanie Perkins from Canva? Well, she used to be an instructor for Adobe software, and then she discovered a huge pain of learning and using the Adobe Photoshop. So she decided to make a design tool that is available and so easy for everyone. So entrepreneurs here, they are the ones who uncover pain points and problems around them and come up with the creative solutions. And some people say, okay, they are just brilliant or super creative, so that they have so many burning ideas. Well, yes, you should be creative, or maybe you should really look into around to see the potential, business ideas. But ideas are ideas. Our ideas is not strategy. Ideas should be solution. There should be a strategy that is actionable and executable, and it should be commercially viable. So in this sense, Blue Ocean strategy provides you a systematic approach to create a new market rather than competing head on. So its concept of value innovation unlocks your creativity by not focusing on existing market boundaries. And its tools and frameworks of Blue Ocean strategy will help you to analyze and visualize the problems and help you design your solutions. And these tools are put together in sequence, what we call Blue Ocean shift process, so that you go step by step from identifying the problem from a new perspective and to come up with an innovative and creative solutions. So now I'm going to walk you through the key concept and tools of Blue Ocean strategy using one example. So our example today is going to be on symphony orchestra concert industry. So before we move on, let me have a simple poll to understand how much you know about the symphony orchestra. So Z, would you able to launch the poll now? Okay,
I
we have
did.
3 questions. Yeah, so let's see how you answer.
Are you guys all able to see the poll? Yep, we have started seeing the answers come in.
Yeah. And don't worry, we are not going to evaluate your knowledge about the classical music. All right. Okay, let's see. I think we are getting there. Okay. Okay, let's have 10 more seconds. So maybe now, Z, you can end the poll, and then let's see the results. Okay, let's see the result. We have 73 participants answered. Okay, so, well, let's see when is not the right time to clap. Yes, most of them are right, between movements. So basically you need to clap when the conductor comes in and goes out to the stage, and the end of music piece. Yes, when the entire music piece is finished, then you clap, but not between movement, right? And then the second question was about the number of full-scale musicians in a full-size orchestra. Yes, 41% people were right. So basically they say that full-scale orchestra consists of around 100 people, like this picture. So you can see how many people are being involved in the orchestra, and as a salarized orchestra members. And the last question was about the percentage of the market share in the entire music industry. So according to the study of the Nielsen Billboards in 2019, there were 12 music genres for this entire music industry. And classical music was the last one, 12 out of 12, and their market share was 1%.
Whoa.
So now I'm gonna stop share and then move on to the next one. Okay. Okay, so now we can see the problem. So, well, let's talk about the problem now then. Okay, next. So, as we all know, classical music is not popular, and it is increasingly unpopular. The average number of audience in the classical concert has dropped more than 30% in the last 10 years. So, and also, the demand was shrinking, right? And the cost was up because you need to invest more to attract the customers out of this shrinking demand. And these are the costs that you have to pay to maintain your orchestra, like 100 people in orchestra as a member, plus the staff and etc. And there you have to stand out among the others by, hiring like these superstar soloists or like star conductors and things like that. So now I'm going to introduce you the first tool called As Is Ready Canvas. This picture shows the current situation of the industry and its players. This is usually a starting point for understanding the market reality. So the horizontal axis here, we are going to put the competing factors, the factors that the industry players are competing on. And the vertical axis here, we are going to put the offering level, the level of offering of each competing factors that industry players are investing in. So I will just give you an example. Here, when you are going to draw this ready canvas, you first lay out the competing factors like I did, starting from the price. You put the price first all the time, and then you decide what competing factors the industry players are competing on, and then you plot the offering level of each competing factors. And then when you connect these dots, it becomes the value curve, or what we call strategic profile of the industry. So this is the strategic profile of the traditional orchestras. Of course, every orchestra has a little bit difference in terms of offering level. So maybe they have a little bit lower price or lower mannerism or conduct. However, when you plot all the, when you draw the value curve of each industry players, we will find that their shape is almost the same. So they will converge into this industry standard of the classical music concert industry. So it means that, what does it mean? It means that the traditional orchestras have compete head on by focusing on the same things like star conductors and star soloists and things like that. So now I have a question to you. What would be your strategy? Let's say you are appointed recently as the head of an orchestra. And what would be your option? So I came up with these 4 options. Obviously, I think there are more than that, but let me just have 4 options. And then let's have another poll. Z, could you launch our second poll? Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So just to know, what would you like to do as the head of the orchestra? Okay, I'm gonna end the poll in 10 seconds. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's see the results. All right. So we have so many people interested in creating different orchestras that this did not exist before. Yes, that's great. So let's see. Well, as you can imagine, the the three ones on the top here are talking about the market creating strategy. Either you become differentiator or cost leader and the niche player, those who are targeting a specific customers. So these are about market competing strategy, and there is nothing wrong about it as long as you are good at it. I think there is a future. And a lot of us actually, like more than half of us, answered the last one. I'm interested in creating a different orchestra that did not exist before. It means that you need to follow the market creating strategy because it means that you want to get out of the red ocean and you want to reshape the industry boundaries of the classical music concert. Okay. So if you are interested in creating a blue-ocean opportunity out of this classical music concert industry, I think you need to ask the following questions about the current industry. So who are the non-customers and what are their pain points? And how to reconstruct the market boundaries to remove the pain points and turn these non-customers into customers. So now I'm going to introduce you an orchestra, a real orchestra that created a blue-ocean by turning the non-customers of classical music industry, like you and I, to customers by solving their pain points. So this is a quick opening video. We have like 5-minute video, but due to time constraint, I'm not going to show you. And I tried to, test run the video, and unfortunately, due to some reasons we couldn't really play the audio. So let's just see the visual. Okay, so this is just the entry of the video of Angel Rieu's Johann Strauss Orchestra. He is based in the Netherlands, but he is like a global player right now. So, and also I will show you some pictures of how Angel Rieu's concert is different. So you can see the concert venue. The venue is in the city center, open space, which can hold up to 10,000 audience. When you think about how New York Philharmonic is taking place, where is it taking place? With a very cutting edge technology equipped sound system with a privileged auditorium and etc. It costs a lot to have this venue. At the same time, they have limited capacity. But when you think about this location, you can see how many people could purchase the tickets and how much it costs for this Angel Rieu's orchestra to have this location, because obviously the city mayor will be so happy to give this place maybe for free or at a very cheaper price, because it will be a great occasion to attract people to this town. So you can see the economic reasoning of having the concert in this city center in the place. And then think about the audience. Who are they? What do they do? Do you think they are same as you can expect from the auditorium for the New York Philharmonics? However, they enjoy classical music. They really have the familiar classical music concerts. And then there is also soloist, but she is not yet a star soloist. She is probably going to be a star soloist in the future, but not right now. So they have the soloist, but not really an expensive, prestigious soloist to attract the customers. And also, they have the music from the cinema or the musicals that people love to, listen to. So like from the Mary Poppins. And then the concert is finished with the grand finale with the fireworks and etc. as if it is a festival. So you can see how different it is, right? And I think the most different thing that under Ryu concert is on the audience. You know, people with the casual outfits and families with kids, and they dance and sing together. They even have dinner there. So under Ryu's orchestra did not target the existing classical music concert goers. Of course, existing customers might attend this concert because they love music, but their concert aim to meet non-customers of traditional classical music concert. Non-customer is a very important concept in promotion strategy because they are potential buyers. They are potential demand outside the group of existing customers. So let's look at who are those non-customers. So this is tool called 3 tiers of non-customers. Through this tool, you can identify hidden pain points and turn them into promotion opportunity. So let's think about the first tier non-customers. So they are soon to be non-customers who are already in the market, but they are ready to jump ship. So mentally speaking, they are non-customers. In classical music concerts, the first tier non-customers are those who attend the classical music concert, but they are somehow dissatisfied with their experience. Maybe it's too serious, too long, and etc. And the second tier non-customers are refusing non-customers who reject to use the industry's existing service and offerings and the products. So they refuse the industry and they go against them. For example, they just seek alternative entertainments like pop concert or musical and etc. And the third tier non-customers are those who have never thought about classical concert as an option of entertainment. For example, mom and dad with young kids, even though they love to listen to classical music, they are worried that their kids are going to make noise in a very serious, play of the Beethoven symphony and etc. So usually this non-customer analysis will break the mental barrier about the industry boundaries, and it will unlock creativity for generating unprecedented offering. And that's what Andrea Ryu did. And let's look at specifically what he did. So by shifting the focus from customers to non-customers, Andrea Ryu was able to identify hidden buyer value that traditional classical music concert did not offer. What is this? This is fun, family, and interactive atmosphere that visual effects people love to enjoy like they enjoy in the pop concerts, right? And by combining these two, Andrea Ryu's orchestra reconstructed the existing industry boundaries, unlocking new demand and creating a unique orchestra. So now, how did Andrea Ryu combine the classical music and pop concert to create a unique orchestra? Then let's go back to the competing factors that we identified in the as-is strategy canvas. And then we are going to move these competing factors into a promotion strategy tool called Eliminate, Reduce, Raise, and Create Grids. So we call it simply ERRC grid or ARC grid. So what we are going to do is we are going to decide what factors we eliminate, what factors we reduce, what factors we raise, but what new factors we create in order to create unprecedented value for the buyers. So Andrea Ryu eliminated and reduced those factors like star conductors, superstar soloist size of orchestras. At the same time, they raised our use of familiar music, raised our venue capacity. At the same time, they created fun and humor, audience participation, visual and festive grandeur. So you can now draw the to-be strategy canvas. So let's draw the strategy canvas of Andrea Ryu by juggling the offering level according to eliminate, reduce, raise, and create. So here we have factors that Andrea Ryu created as the new competing factors. And then we are going to draw as the same way we did for the as-is strategy canvas. We are going to draw the Andrea Ryu in order of eliminate, reduce, raise, and create. So by eliminating and reducing the competing factors well below the industry standard, we are going to lower the cost structure of your business. And then by raising and creating those factors above the industry standard, we are going to create buyer value. And this is called value innovation. You can offer higher value, not at a higher cost, but at a lower cost. It is different from traditional red ocean strategy that you have to choose either differentiation or low cost. So you can achieve both differentiation and low cost, what we call value innovation. So the consequence is Andre Rieu becoming a maestro for the masses. So he is one of the biggest male touring artists in the world, which is unprecedented for a classical music artist. Not only his concerts are successful, but also the revenue from the sales of recordings is astronomical. So let's summarize Andre Rieu's Blue Ocean strategic logic. So Andre Rieu created a new market space in the classical music industry by not benchmarking the best ones like New York Philharmonic. It created and captured new demand by transforming huge non-concert goers into customers. And as you saw, he achieved both differentiation and low cost by reconstructing the market boundaries, by accepting what people love about pop concerts, you know. So I like the case of Andre Rieu because he was an entrepreneur and he was also the artist who refused to benchmark the industry leader. And he revived the classical music performance market out of unattractive and unfavorable industry conditions. And there was no cutting edge technology that he used, but a sheer aspiration to break out of the conventional red ocean thinking and try to find and capture a blue ocean strategy, blue ocean opportunity. So I'd like to end my talk with the following takeaways. First, entrepreneurs are not aiming to benchmark the others, and they are not trying to do better than them. They pioneer a new market instead of jumping into the competition. How they do that? How do they create a new market? Starting is that you do not see the industry as given. The industry structure or conditions can be shaped by you. So when you think the industry boundary is not, shaped, it's not fixed, then you can remove your mental barrier and you can see the reality in a different way. And you will discover the hidden pain points that the industry players were over-investing for nothing or less investing that generate huge non-customers. So focus on creating new demand by attracting non-customers rather than focusing on the existing customers. And the Blue Ocean tools and framework will help you to understand the problem deep down and you see it from a different perspective so that you can come up with a creative solution. So today, I only mentioned a few tools like As-is Red Canvas, Non-Customers, the ERRC Grid, and To-Be Red Canvas, but there are many other tools that is very useful and helpful for you to go through this Blue Ocean entrepreneur competition. So I really recommend you to take this mini course that is offered throughout this competition. And I wish all of you the best luck. And I hope you learn a lot throughout this process about Blue Ocean strategy and you practice it in your life and all. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much, Young, for such an inspiring talk. And thank you for introducing our students to the concepts of Blue Ocean strategy, the same concepts that they have to apply in this competition. So we have recorded this webinar as well. So just for the information of all the participants, you will have access to the recording of Young's talk later on as well. So as you start working on the competition and you want to go back and listen to, what are those main things that she talked about, what you should be thinking about in your pitch, you will always have access to this talk, and so you can go back to it. Okay, so let's move on to the next section of our webinar, and this is about how you are going to participate. What all are you expected to do? So let's let me cover all that. And basically what I want to do in this section is to take you to the various different parts of our website and show you what are you expected to do. But you should know that the first step to participate in this competition is to register for it. And if you are going to be participating as an individual, you just register yourself. If you are going to partner up with other students, because you can participate on your own, but you can also make teams with your friends, teams with other high school students or so, and you can have a team of up to 5 students who can register, who can participate and pitch together. But each team member has to go and register separately. When you are going to pitch, you will pitch as a team, but to be able to participate in the competition, each of the team member has to register separately for the competition. Then once you register, you will get a link to the Blue Ocean mini course that Young just talked about. And this is an online self-paced course that tells you about the Blue Ocean concepts. It introduces you to the tools like the strategy canvas, like the buyer utility map, like the Earth grid. So things that Young has talked about. There is a way of completing those tools. And in the Blue Ocean mini course, you will learn how to apply those tools and how to think in the Blue Ocean way. And then once you have done that, it also gives you some ideas of how you are going to create your pitch, what sort of problems you should be thinking about to solve. And then you are expected to create a video pitch. This is a virtual competition. So we are not going to have you fly somewhere or come somewhere to do your pitch. All you have to do is to create a video pitch. The time limit is between 3 to 5 minutes. So anything over 5 minutes gets disqualified. And so this is going to be a 5-minute video pitch where you talk about the problem you are addressing, the solution that you have formulated, the team that you have put together, and those sort of things. And we will provide you resources about how to put together that video pitch. And then once you have created that video pitch, you are going to upload it to YouTube, maybe using your personal channel or maybe using your school's channel. And then you have to tag your video with the Blue Ocean competition tag, and then also provide us the actual video file and the link to your YouTube video as well. The reason why we do that is, earlier when the competition was really small, we asked all the students to upload their videos to our system, and then we were putting it all on YouTube. But now the competition has become so big that we only upload the top 100 to our channel. So initially, everybody who participates puts it on their YouTube channel and just tags us and provides us a link. And then if you make it to the top 100, because you will be providing us the main actual video file as well, we will upload it to our channel as well. So you will submit your pitch, you will declare your team, and then you sit tight and cross your fingers, because we will then go through the judging process. We have, last year we had about 80 judges from all over the world who are seasoned entrepreneurs who would be judging your pitches, providing you feedback, and then we will go from, shortlisting from the initial, whatever number is, our first shortlisting is the top 250. We then go from top 250 to top 100. We then go to the top 25, top 10, and then the top 3. Last year, it was so difficult because you guys come up with such wonderful ideas. The judges had such a difficult time to, only choose the top 25. So last year we had the top 30 because they said, these are all so good. How do we take out anybody and so on? So your creativity of these young students, it really inspires us. And we are hoping the same this year as well. So, okay, so let me take you through the website and show you which are the important areas for you where you should be focusing on. Now, why do I put in? Okay, so this is our main website. Your first most important area, of course, is this register now button, which you will see at various places on our website. When you go to the register now button, you will have an option to, go and complete your registration here. It just takes a minute, but that's your first thing to do. After that, most of the information, all the useful information is under this complete section on the website, which tells you who can participate. So it can be any high school student. The age limit is between 14 and 18. If you have turned like 19, but you are still enrolled in a high school somewhere, you are still eligible to compete. And when I say high school, that would mean, O levels or A levels in Britain, or maybe the international baccalaureate somewhere in Europe, or it could be the secondary school or higher secondary school, but generally 12th grade or 13th grade, that is what we are looking at. And you can compete individually or you can form teams. And these teams, they don't have to be just in your own school. If you want to, let's say, partner up with your cousin who is also a high school student, but maybe lives in Vietnam, you are welcome to do that as well. And so how do you participate? We just talked about it. As soon as you register, you get a link to the Blue Ocean mini course. And when you register for the mini course, you also get a link to what is called the Blue Ocean Student Community. It is the Blue Ocean Student Entrepreneurs Community, where there is a section for you to go and introduce yourself, who you are, which school are you in. This is a closed group, not open to the public, so it's a safe place. And we have student executive members who moderate the conversations in those community. But the idea is that you can go and introduce yourself there. If you are looking for a team member, you can ask for that. You can look for potential partners. Or maybe you can say, oh, I am really interested in finding a blue ocean in the healthcare industry or so. Who else is willing to partner up with me? And because this is a community of all the registered students who are participating in the mini course, that's the wonderful place to find team members. If you do not have like your club members or class fellows who you would like to participate to it, right? So the first thing is sign up for the course, go in the community, introduce yourself. If you have any questions, community is the space to ask those questions as well. The community is I'm always moderating that as well. And Srishti Food, who is heading our student executive committee this year, she will also be answering those questions as well. So throughout the process, you are welcome to use that community as well. Now, when you do the Blue Ocean mini course, of course, you will learn about what you are expected to do, how you are going to go about it. And you may think, oh, how do I find the inspiration? How do I find information about, what other students have, what sort of ideas other students have come up with? So we have a big library of, information about past winners and students who participated earlier. All of those video links are on our YouTube channel, but go to our website and find that would give you some inspiration as well. We also provide you a pitch template. So when you are ready to start putting together your slide deck and to start building your pitch, we provide you a pitch template as well that you can use. The timeline is also on this website. Today we are here where we have the kickoff webinar. This is the place where you are going to find the recording of the webinar as well. Right now you see it says register now, but tomorrow, day after tomorrow, this will be updated to watch webinar recording here, and you will be able to access it here. The next important date that we have is 18th of February 2024, and that's the submission deadline. You will have time till 12 a.m. In the middle of the night on it. So when the clock strikes 12 and it becomes 19th February, the registration would be, submission of pitches would be closed. So that's your final submission deadline. We recommend that you should submit your pitch at least a week before that or so, because at times towards the end, the servers become very busy. It is possible that you may not be able to submit in time, or maybe you are trying to submit and then the video gets corrupted, or maybe, I mean, something can go wrong. So it's always a good idea to stay safe and submit your pitch beforehand. We recommend at least a week in advance so that you can be sure that everything has been submitted. Once your submission is complete, you will get an email confirming that your pitch has been received. After that, as I told you, there are several rounds of judging that goes on, but after every round, we do announce those as well. So top 100 Blue Ocean pitches would be announced. We will let you know when that date is, but generally, this is about a month after this. Last year, it was 20th of March. So around that time, you will get that result. All the whole process gets completed by 18th of April. So 2 months after the submission deadline, that is when we would have our grand finale. The awards are sent out sometimes in May. And now, what are those awards that you are all competing for? We have a number of awards. Of course, the first place is, and this is like the global worldwide winner, $1,000. Second place, third place. We also have a People's Choice Award, and this is limited to the top 100 pitches. So once we announce the top 100 pitches, we upload them to our YouTube channel. And the People's Choice Award goes to the team that gets the most likes on their video on our channel. So it's not really what the judges do. I mean, the judges, of course, shortlist and decide the top 100, but this is just an award where the more likes you get, gets you a chance to get the People's Choice Award. And why is it important? It is important because for every business, how you are able to sell your idea, how you are going to market it, how you are going to convince others to, have a look at your business, especially in today's world, which is all social media and online based. This is an important skill that entrepreneurs need to develop. And that's why we have this special award, which is completely based on how skilled you are to spread the word about your competition. So that's the People's Choice Award. We also have included this year 5 new awards, and these are for regional winners, because we have gone global and we have so much participation from Africa, from Middle East, for Latin America. And so in addition to the one global top award, we also now have top awards for Europe, Africa, Asia and Oceania, Latin America, and Middle East. Now, every student who participates in the competition gets a certificate of participation. If you make an outstanding achievement, which is that you make it to the top 100, you make it to the top 25, you make it to the top 10, you get an additional certificate for that as well. And of course, all the winners get certificates as well. At this stage in your life, these certificates are important for you because they build on your resume. You, in fact, also get a certificate for completing your Blue Ocean online mini course. And you will be able to showcase all of these certificates on your YouTube channel. So one thing that we also encourage our students to do is to get started on LinkedIn. You guys are all very familiar with like Instagram and TikTok and this and that, but now you are entering into that professional sort of field, and coming as like a founder or a co-founder of a business that you are pitching or so. So we encourage you to now start building your profile on LinkedIn, and then you will be able to showcase these certificates on your LinkedIn profile to stand out. We also have awards for participating schools, because we know that when teachers are involved and they mentor and guide their students to prepare for this competition, that's when it really comes alive for the students. And so we have teacher champions as well, and I'm going to show you also how teachers can get involved. But we have prizes for schools. So $1,000 goes to the school that has the most individual or team pitches that make it to the top 25. We have $1,000 for top 5 schools, so $5,000 essentially for all the schools that bring in the most submissions, so the top 5 schools. We also have a sponsor a company called OneScreen that provides educational technology for a teacher champion classroom. So this is basically a teacher who really instills the competition, includes it in her class, and really helps her students. We have that process of identifying the best teacher champion of the year, and we provide this large high-tech smart board for their classroom. So provided by one of our sponsors, that's also one of the awards here. And then we award some certificates for teachers for their participation as well. To look at the competition rules and whether you are meeting all those requirements, this is the place that you would go to. But basically, you should know the pitches have to be in English. They cannot be more than 5 minutes in length. The video cannot be so heavy that it cannot be uploaded to our system. So the file has to be smaller than 1 gigabyte. You have to be able to upload your initial video on YouTube and tag it with Blue Ocean Competition. And of course, plagiarism is not allowed. You cannot cheat from others or so, those sort of things. So all of these rules are written over here as well. Now, before we go into the judging criteria, there are a couple of other sections that I want to show you on the website that is going to be very important for you. So you will go to the resources section and click on for participants, and you will see that everything that you need is basically available here as well. Competition rules, submission checklist, judging criteria, dates and deadlines. There are inspiring examples, just like Young talked about Andre Rue. There are so many other companies that have created Blue Oceans. So you can find some examples here. You will click on it and it takes you to some examples that you can read about just to get some inspiration. There are useful articles that help you, past winners, FAQs, training videos. So everything that we have put together, the pitch template, all those links are here as well. So those are resources for the participants. Like I said, we have programs for teachers as well. So teachers who want to get involved and bring this competition and entrepreneurship education to their classroom, we have valuable resources for them as well, including PowerPoint presentations, case studies, that sort of information. So teachers can find their resources over here as well. And one other thing in terms of resources that I want to share over here is that our student executive committee manages the email address called team@blueoceancompetition.org. So anytime in the process, if you have a question, reach out to us through team@blueoceancompetition.org, or you could reach out to me directly as well. My email is ED or executive director. So ed@blueoceancompetition.org, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you may have any confusion about. Right? Now let's go to look at the judging criteria and what would really you be really judged on. There are lots of entrepreneurship competitions that are out there, and everything may have like a different criteria. We have defined the whole rubric so that you are exactly clear about what is it that you would be judged on. The first thing, of course, because this is a competition that's inspired by Blue Ocean Strategy, the first important thing is Blue Ocean creativity and value innovation, the things that Young talked about. And it is, is your idea unique? Is it achieving high value, getting like really unprecedented value for the users? Is it a low cost thing? So because she talked about you get to high value and low cost, 20% of your score is dependent on that, whether you are creating a blue ocean or not, whether you are creating something completely unique that nobody else has offered, and that it achieves differentiation and low cost. It is generally measured by looking at the eliminate, reduce, create grid and the strategy canvas that you will present in your pitch that is used to determine the first 20% of the score. The next 20% of the score is about impact potential. And really what it means is how big of a problem are you solving? Are you solving a problem which is going to be for a small niche, maybe just some high school students in your school? Or maybe it is something that is going to impact the whole world. For example, a couple of years back, we had the top winner who had pitched an idea about how to convert any blood into O-type blood, and how that solves just such a huge worldwide problem because O positive or O negative blood is so rare. So can there be a way of converting, the regular blood? And so anybody could donate blood, but it could be converted into O-type. So the impact potential of how many people is your idea going to impact or make their life drastically better or so. That's the second 20% of your score. Generally, this is looked at, Young had talked to you about the 3 tiers of non-customers and the market size that you're going to access, that your that your idea is going to impact. It is looked at through that. So you see in this blue section here, use the 3 tiers of non-customers framework to show what is that huge impact that your idea is going to make, right? The third part, or the next 20%, is technical feasibility. And this is where we look into, or the judges look into, is your idea even technically feasible? Is it something like really for the future? It cannot really be done at this time, maybe because the technology is not available at all, or maybe the technology is too expensive, so you cannot use it in the way that you have described. So technical feasibility is another 20%. And of course, if your idea is something which either maybe involves no technology at all, or if it involves some technology, then that technology is already available, or maybe a little bit has to be developed or so. So 20% goes to technical feasibility. The next 20% is about commercial viability and scalability. Are you creating something that people would be able to actually purchase or buy? If you are saying that, okay, we have this process for converting the regular blood to O negative, but the cost is going to be $5 million, then it's not commercially viable. So if you are saying that your market is going to be the whole world, or all of these like high school students, or all of these certain, whatever market you have identified, you have to show that it's commercially viable as well. They have the ability to purchase it and it's not out of reach for them. Also, the idea is scalable and you can make money out of it as well. So you have addressed potential adoption hurdles for it. It is ready for mass adoption. That is what is covered under commercial viability of it. And then, of course, the last 20% is the quality of your presentation and the use of Blue Ocean tools. Whether you are able to present your idea in a clear, nice manner, your presentation is something that people like to go and listen to again and again because it's so inspiring or so. you have put in effort to put together your presentation, and that you have also used the Blue Ocean tools to really describe how you have put together your idea. That's the last point over there. I think we are running a little bit late over here, but that's all really that I needed to cover over here. And yep, so these things we have already covered. Basically, what we expect from you is to learn the basics of Blue Ocean creativity, create a winning team. Don't be afraid to go big, engage your teachers and our mentors to improve your pitches also. Yeah, and this is about the certificate that many of you have been asking in the Q&A section as well, but that gets us towards the end, where we are now going to go into our Q&A session with our executive members. I also wanted to talk a little bit about how teachers can get involved. We have this program where teachers can register and be involved as a teacher champion. They will receive a teacher's toolkit with teaching resources, how they can incorporate it in their classroom. Many of the teachers who are involved actually include this competition as a graded exercise in their class. And that encourages all the students in the class to start thinking about this Blue Ocean way, which normally they would do when they were in college. But what the competition is trying to do is to bring that knowledge even lower into the high school level. So teachers have the ability to include it in their curriculum, get the students ready to compete for the worldwide stage, right? And then help your students gain practical experience in entrepreneurship by building these ideas. And of course, they have a chance to win valuable recognition and prizes for their school as well. So this was the judging criteria. They have already looked at it. Now let me ask both our student executive members to I am going to stop sharing my screen and ask our two executive student members to come on. And these are the students. I wanted to introduce them to you because this is an organization that really, I told you, it was started by a student. It's also run by the student. I'm there to guide them, but we have a student executive committee that comes together to put this whole show together. We have student, and I would actually have them talk about it. So let's ask with Ishan. Ishan, tell us about how you have helped put together the competition. What's your role in the executive committee? And then we will go to Srishti, who is going to be heading the student executive committee this year. Ishan graduated this year and has now gone to UCLA. He was heading our student executive committee last year. He's going to be managing the alumni, but he knows how students are involved and what do they do. So, yes, Isha.
You guys can hear me well?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Ishan Banjara. I'm currently a freshman at UCLA. I was heading the committee last year, and I got that wonderful opportunity to work with a bunch of high achieving students on the committee that really wanted to make stuff happen with the competition, increase our reach, increase the reach of the Blue Ocean strategy. And so last year, I think my favorite part about last year was actually starting like a lot of these mentorship and training programs that you see on the Blue Ocean website that you do today, right? So our primary mission is to be a support system for everyone who participates in the competition. And last year, what was Z really focused on, and what the committee and competition really focused on, was increasing the reach globally and providing the same equal access to mentorship and training resources to people around the world. So we had submissions from places in all over the world. For example, we had a submission from Ethiopia, and we also had a Blue Ocean webinar, and we have multiple webinars where we have past participants, alumni coming to speak about their experience, giving you the option to ask questions and receive answers on the Blue Ocean strategy and their experience. And just actually my favorite part about last year was we had this one webinar where we were able to like connect people from around the world who didn't have a team for the competition. And there was one student from Ethiopia and one from America that collaborated on a product and they actually submitted. And so we provide that platform. So I think the beautiful thing about the committee is that we're always here to help. Um, it was really exciting to work with all these wonderful high achieving high school students last year. And now this year I'm moving on to a alumni like role where I'm just helping guide the committee and answering any questions anyone has. And we'll also be like launching a whole alumni network where we have people, past participants, really being involved in the competition. And I'm excited for Srishti, who's also on this Zoom to head the committee this year. And I'll give her the opportunity to speak as well.
Yeah, thank you, Ishan. Thanks for your wonderful work last year. And of course, when students get involved in the executive committee, they of course get an opportunity for all of these leadership sort of tasks where you get to learn what you will be doing in actual business afterwards as well. How do you organize the team? How do you get other students to work? How do you put together these meetings and webinars and market your competition and so on? So our executive student members get all those opportunities as well. Srishti is leading our team this year, but she's also a past participant as well. So Srishti, if you could talk a little bit about how you participated, what are the things that you did, what worked, what didn't work when you participated as a participant. This year, of course, none of the student executive committee are allowed to participate because they are not competing, because they will have access to all the information, maybe have an advantage. So they cannot participate. They only help manage the competition. But both Ishan and Srishti are past participants. And Srishti, if you could talk a little bit about your experience of what the new participants should be doing, I think that would be wonderful.
Hi, I'm Shristi Sood. I'm currently a senior at West Windsor Plainsboro High School North. And the past, I think 2 years, I participated in the Blue Ocean competition with me and my group's product called Blind Hire. So what we did with our product is essentially we used all the resources from the Blue Ocean website. We took all of their content, all of their concepts into account. We would work closely with their rubric. And I'm also now leading a club at my school where we teach the Blue Ocean curriculum. And some advice for new participants is make sure to take advantage of all of the resources that we provide. We have the mini course, we have all of this curriculum, we have all these webinars coming up. So I think all of that can really help you and really, really lead you to success in the competition. In the past, I've also mentored over 50 students in participating in this competition. And so I'm really excited to see all the submissions that we have this year.
Thank you, Srishti. We are looking forward to a really successful year with your leadership. She is now working with the Executive Student Committee, who are responsible for various different tasks, for marketing in their specific regions, for helping moderate the communities, to help our social media on various different channels, to answer questions from participants, to help mentor some of the students. So she's the one who is coordinating these student executive members who are from actually all over the world. There are some from the US, we are from Canada, we are from India. So depending on Srishti for great work this year. So thank you, Srishti. I think we should now go into the Q&A session. And so one of you, maybe Srishti, you can ask the questions. We will ask our expert to answer some of the questions, which are about Blue Ocean strategy, anything that has to do with the logistics of the competition. I would be happy to answer those questions as well. I've been answering some of the questions in the chat, but let's go through them and answer some of them live as well.
Yeah, so I've also been answering some questions throughout. So a lot of the questions had to do with being in one team and submitting 2 products under the same company. Are they allowed to do that?
So they are allowed to do that. However, that's not recommended. It is because when you are making a pitch, focus on one thing that you think is the most important one and build on that idea, because you only have like 5 minutes for that video. If you are going to talk about two different products or so, maybe you will not be able to make a point on about each of them. So if you really think that you have two really strong ideas, you're allowed to submit two separate pitches, or maybe team up with different students on those two pitches and do them separately. But in one pitch, we recommend that you do not combine two ideas, because one of the big things is to be clear about what you want to present, to talk about the high value and the low cost and so on. So it would all get muddled up, in my opinion. That's what I would suggest, but it's not that you are not allowed to do it.
Okay, perfect. So another question is, does the YouTube video need to be unlisted when it's posted for submission?
It definitely needs to be listed, because we should be able to publicly access it when you submit it. And so it has to be public. You have to provide us a link to that. And yeah, it does not have to be unlisted.
Also important to note that our website has, for participants, you can see resources for participants, you can see our submission checklist. So if you're ever confused, just use that checklist. And I know Srishti also answered a question on the chat earlier, giving that link. So, you have to post a YouTube video, you have to put a hashtag Lotion competition, and it'll give you the instructions. So yeah, it should be doable.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Thank you guys. So the next question, there's actually a few about this as well. How can people get access to the student committee?
Yes, the student committee is a really brand new thing. We have just gotten started on it. You will soon be receiving an email inviting you to join the community. We started it this week. Those students who have already registered, maybe even completed the course or so, you have not seen the committee as yet. But what you are going to see is when you log on to your Blue Ocean mini course, you will see another link to the competition directly in there. But going forward, any new student who registers, they will have access to it. This is just a brand new feature, and that's why you didn't know about it earlier, or you did not have access to it. We are just getting started on it.
Yeah, so then the next question is, when working in a team for the internship award, will all members of the team be provided with the internship reward? And is it possible for them to select the company which they work for?
So no, right now we only have an internship available for the top student, so the leader of the winning team or so. Maybe in coming years, we are also going to have the executive student team to reach out to other potential sponsors. If we are able to generate more internships, we will do that. But for now, we only have one spot available.
Okay, perfect. Do students need to show their faces in their submission videos?
We recommend that you do, because we of course want to see these young, inspiring business leaders of the future. So you don't have to be shy. You are not required to do that, but we want you to develop that confidence for creating that pitch. Normally in a competition, it used to be that you have to go in person and compete, and many students would shy away from there. And that's why now we have this chance that we just have to do it in a video. So I would suggest, yes, we should definitely do that. First, it allows you to connect better with the judges. So whatever you are saying when you are looking at somebody and talking about it, it increases your chances of winning, because they are able to see like your genuine nature also. But also it allows you to build your public speaking skills. You guys are all high school students, and this is just a starting point. And we want to give you all the skills and get you started on things that are going to help you succeed in the future. So I would suggest definitely show your faces and talk directly. So normally what they do is you may have like the PowerPoint slide, and you may have your picture on the side on the top when you're speaking. That does make a good impact.
Okay. Here's another question. Where can people find a student group to find other students to make their team together?
Yes, so this year, like I just told you, we have just started the community, and one of the objectives for that is that we want you to be able to find team members. So there are different channels, just like in Discord channel, there are different channels in that community. One of those big sections is introduce yourself, where you just go and introduce who you are, what your passions are, what sort of ideas you want to work on, something like that. Then there is another channel which is called Find a Team Member. So that is where you can say, I'm looking for a team member, or you could say, I want to become a part of a team. So team that is already formed and you want to join it, you will be able to write that over there. We really want to promote it this year because as you bring in diverse point of views in your ideas, your idea becomes stronger and more powerful also. Maybe we may see, somebody from the US maybe partner up with, like Ishan said, last year we had somebody from Ethiopia a partner up, and they told us that it was such a wonderful opportunity for them to learn from, some other students who had a completely different perspective. So that again is an exercise for you to how you will build businesses in the future in this globalized world, and how you will team up, find the best talent, those sort of things.
Yes. Another question is, for their video, are they allowed to market their project for the Public Choice Award on all digital platforms?
They can definitely do that. So the likes that count are what happens on our website. So you will initially put your your video on your YouTube channel, right? So even if your friends are going and liking it there, we have no way of counting those likes. So it's only when your video is actually posted on our YouTube channel for the top 100, that's when those likes start getting counted. And so you are welcome to, and in fact, you are expected to do that post a link to your video on all of your other social media channels so that they can go and put a like there. But what will be counted is only the likes that would be made on our YouTube channel. So if you have posted something on another social media channel and people like over there, we will still not be able to count it. So always include a link to your video on our YouTube channel and ask them to put a like there.
Okay. For winners of this Blue Ocean competition, is there a direct route to becoming part of the student body?
Definitely, even if you are not a winner, you are more than welcome to become a part of our student body. We had started that process last month, and Ishan was leading that, where we sent out the invites, inviting students to become a member of the executive committee. Ishan, you want to talk about it a little bit? How students become a part of the committee?
Yeah, so I just want to clarify Z said as well, but your performance in the competition has nothing to do with your ability to join the student committee. Um, it's more so about your passion about the subject of ocean strategy. We really want everyone that joins the committee to know their stuff. So know about the blue ocean strategy, because at its core, the blue ocean competition is about entrepreneurship, but it's about using this strategy, right? Um, and then it's also there's the various kind of responsibilities that we have. I mean, we also just talked about this before. But yeah, so we sent out a Google form asking, an application, giving you the opportunity to talk about your past experience, whether you participate in the competition or not, and what you could contribute to the committee. And like we're excited to, like, anyone has a ability to apply. Um, from around the world, and we have members from around the world as well. So it's a really like inclusive
If anybody
community.
is interested, please write to us on team@blueoceancompetition.org, and Ishan and Srishti will get back to you if there is an opportunity to add another member there. I see a very important question here for Young here, and I think if you could talk about it and let the others know as well. So in the context of Blue Ocean strategy, how can they effectively identify latent and unmet customer needs?
All right, so as I explained with the 3 tiers of non-customers, so basically 3 tiers of non-customers is talking about the customers who are refusing or haven't thought about, using that existing product or services before. So when you think about why they are refusing it or why they haven't thought about using it, then you will find the pain points or the reasons why they are walking away from the existing one, so that you can find the unmet needs of the customers from the existing industry. But also the buyer utility map that I didn't introduce in my talk is going to be a very useful tool for you to identify the hidden utilities that the industry was not really focusing on to deliver. So buyer utility map and non-customer, 3 tiers of non-customers are 2 important tools for you to identify the latent and unmet demands from the customers.
Thank you, Young.
Yeah. So next question. Will the participants who want to do solo also compete with the group participants, or are they separated?
So if you are competing solo, you would still be competing with all the other teams. So one thing is that you register as an individual. When you are submitting a pitch, you have an option to specify who all are your team members, but it is still counted as one pitch. One video is considered as one submission. So whether it is submitted by just an individual or whether it is submitted by a team, all of the pitches would be competing with each other. And I also saw a question asking about, who should be submitting the pitch. And so one pitch should be submitted only once, because you need to identify a CEO or a team leader for each of the pitches. So that team leader is going to submit the pitch, and others are, maybe the CEO, CMO. You guys will decide the structure, how you want to come together to put that pitch. But every pitch should be submitted just once by the team leader.
Okay. Can we register from 2 different accounts, but the same people creating 2 different ideas?
You just have to register once, but you can, what I would suggest in this situation is, for one idea, there can be one leader. For another idea, there can be another leader, because then that team leader is responsible for, completing that pitch or so. So let's say it's the same 5 students. You have just registered once, because there are 2 different things. One is student registrations, one is pitch submission. So when you are submitting a pitch, the second idea can be submitted by the same 5 students, but under a different name for the idea, under a different leader, and it would work.
So will they be given a format for doing their presentation?
That's great. Yes, there is a pitch template online in your resources, which shows how you should structure it. So it would talk about, first talk about the problem, talk about the market, talk about the strategic landscape, put together your as a strategy canvas, talk about the pain points that you are resolving. So that's all in the pitch template. We recommend that you use that pitch template. Also, the videos that you are making, it should have somewhere the Blue Ocean competition logo or so that we can identify that this is not something that you prepared for some other class work, class assignment, or another competition that you are just submitting to us. This is a very specific competition with very specific requirements and very specific judging criteria. And that's why it's not that you can just take a video from somewhere else and put it over there. So you have to follow those guidelines in the pitch template. What the flow should be like, what should be mentioned over there. For example, if you are pitching something which doesn't even show a strategy canvas, there isn't really a chance for you to win over there. So you will be provided that pitch template.
Okay, and last question, if someone has registered as a team, would they be able to change?
So when you register, you are only registering as an individual. There isn't an option to register as a team. You become a team only when you submit your pitch. So I think you may have a little bit of a confusion of how you have registered, but essentially everybody registers as an individual.
Okay, one last question. Is there any video pitch of the past winners?
And I will let you answer it, Srishti.
Yeah, so there are, I think, all of the winners on our website. If you press the compete button, then you can see all of the past winners in near the mini course and the pitch template.
And it's under the resources section as well. Well, thank you so much. I think we've just made it to the time. It's 10:30. But thank you so much, Young, for coming here. We truly appreciate. We are honored to have you here. And I'm so very happy that you reminded me to start the recording, because we should not have missed it. We want to keep your recording there, and so that the students can go back to it and listen to it. We may come back to you again if we have other questions or so. But really appreciative of your time here. Ishan, Srishti, wonderful to have you here, like always. And Srishti is answering that last question that's there. You will get a confirmation that your thing is submitted. And so we are going to end the webinar here. And Srishti and Ishan, we will jump to our executive committee meeting after that. So, okay, thank you so much, Young.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
and good
everybody,
luck.
for participating here.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We are honored to have you all. Yeah, bye-bye.